I have a story from BuyNetComics.com here. Initial costs for Rachel Zegler's Snow White film are already shockingly high. How high? $209.3 million. This new report from Carolyn Reed at Forbes reveals that the Snow White production under the code name, they'd already spent $209.3 million as of July 31st, 2022. So in other words, over a year ago. Since then, who knows what it's ballooned up to. However, the UK government has granted Disney a $41.1 million tax rebate, meaning the net spend so far is $168.2. That's this number here, but it's much higher, surely. Key thing to point out here is that just the costs are through July 31st, 2022, and do not include any production costs incurred after that date. She rightly notes its costs are likely to rise sharply as more than a year of post-production still had to be done after the date of the financial statement. It's likely these production costs and more might have been done, also be included, yada yada yada. Reacting to this information, financial and box office analyst Valiant Renegade wrote on X, Rachel Zegler's Snow White looks like it will have a production cost of $300 million. See, the thing is, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, he's dead on right. But he's got to be somewhat close, for Christ's sake. I mean, $209 million over a year ago. It's not hard to imagine them spending another 100 or whatever, 91, I guess, in a year. I can absolutely see that, but anyway, it's quite possible it could go even higher than the $300 million given the production costs that were incurred over the past year, as well as any kind of post-production work the film will undergo. Nevertheless, Reed claims, based on these initial numbers, the film needs to gross $336.4 million to break even. However, calculation does not factor in marketing costs. She explains that studios typically receive 55% of box office grosses from domestic theaters and 43% of grosses from international markets. Thus, she explains taking the average of 43 and 55 gives roughly a 50-50 split of the box office between theaters and studios. Close enough, no need to, part hairs there anymore, however you want to phrase it. Disney retains, yada yada yada. And again, basically not taking the marketing and so on and such forth. And it goes into some of the talk about it here, 2.5, or sometimes they go 2 times the number for for the budget and the marketing. Sometimes it's 2.5. Sometimes it's it's whatever it is. It's going to be a lot because even if the budget was only $200 million, that 2.5 factor, which is in the middle, because they usually go either 2, 2.5, or 3. 2.5, you do it in the middle, it's a little more likely. 2.5 of 200. Well, I mean, obviously, it doesn't take a genius to figure it out. $500 million. It's a hell of a lot of money. That's not even taking into account if it's higher, which it probably is. Given the massive budget, it's unlikely the film will recoup its costs. The most recent live-action film, The Little Mermaid, only grossed $569.1 million this year. Which, I mean, it's not a bad haul by any means. However, look over here, Little Mermaid production costs. I kind of like this from Screen Rant. The movie needs to earn at least, because they say the budget of $200 million, making it one of the most expensive Disney live-action remakes. It needs to earn at least $500 million at the box office to break even and become a success, but it has a chance to reach $1 billion with its star power and CGI-heavy story. That didn't age well, but anyway, maybe Snow or Little Mermaid probably broke even roughly, going by that number. However, other ones and a lot of the stories down here are talking $250 million to make and $140 million in global marketing spend. It's about $390. You can go up to $4 if you want to make the math a little bit easier. But it's basically, you're talking $400 million. Well, then you double that. That'd be about $800 million. Maybe you can go a little bit less or something, but it ain't close. It might have broke even, but it's not looking good. But anyway, most of these others say the 250 and the 140 number as well. Back to Snow White though, it might even do less than that. To be honest, I don't know. Obviously they're hoping that it's going to do a lot more, but from what we've seen so far, I know these are preliminary stuff, but the screens of the one little person being a dwarf and the rest of them will look like a bunch of hobos or something. I'm not even sure the right way to describe it, but it does not look good. I think the movie, at best is going to do what Little Mermaid does or did, and it probably will do a lot less than that. I could easily see it only getting about 450 or something, because I don't think the movie looks good, because apparently, according to reports, they're also changing it so that Prince Charming isn't even a prince. He's the leader of a group of bandits, and that's who the dwarves are, the magical creatures and stuff. It seems unbelievably terrible. Unbelievably terrible. But anyway, then it goes on as, but what do you think of the massive production budget? I think it's terrible. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you think if you If you disagree with me and you think it'll be a success or whatever, hey, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I can see the future. It doesn't look good to me, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. I could be dead wrong, and this movie could end up making over $1 billion at the box office. I mean, you know, I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I would be stunned to the point of speechlessness, pretty much. But it's possible. You never know. It just blows me away. $209 million, and that was back in July of last year, over a year ago. It's like, God, what? These companies need to quit spending so much damn money on all this stuff because the movies aren't looking like it. Let alone are they making the money? No, they're not making the money back, but they don't even look like it a lot of times. But anyway, not to go off on a big old rant, I'll go ahead and end the video here. Hell, I've gone almost 6 minutes for this and stuff. I'll go ahead and link this article in the description box if you want to read it for yourself. But let me know what you think. You're gonna watch it because I won't myself. But I mean, hey, if you want to, I hope it is good. For all those who want to watch it, I hope it's good. But we'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and have a good one.